Me puedo escuchar.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am going to begin in 2 minutes. I just finished a staff meeting. So we are running just a few minutes behind. I want to give a chance to the agents that are trying to log in because I see that people are registering and then, for some reason the Zoom is kicking them out and re-registering again. So just give it 2 more minutes and we'll begin, okay? And I'll be showing my face today. Just give me 2 more minutes and we'll begin.
Good morning, Andreina.
Good morning.
I had some problem when I was logging, but now I'm in.
No, I saw. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes because you were not the only one. There was a few people that were coming in and out, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to wait at least till 10:10. So 1 more minute and, just make sure that those agents that were registering either have a chance or, if they are able to come in with us.
Right.
All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. I am still at home, so don't mind everything that's going on behind me. Now, there is just 4 of us today. Let me do this view. All right, yeah, so there's only 4 of us today. Today is all about a realtor's mindset, okay? Since there's a little bit of us, you guys can unmute yourselves and talk to me. How are you, Maisa?
Fine, and you? Good morning.
You're very quiet this week. I don't know
Yes.
if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm working. I have to go to the office, but I don't know if the office is open.
The office is open. It's pretty much Julieta and I who are working from home. I should be back tomorrow. I'm waiting on my test results, so hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. But the office is definitely open and they'll receive you.
Oh, okay, okay.
I mean, I don't know if they'll be happy to receive you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But you've been awfully quiet, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't.
Maybe I learn.
I hope so. With that said, it's just a few of us. It's not that many of us, so we can actually make this a little bit more engaging. I was actually expecting a lot more people just because yesterday was crazy, but because yesterday we had so many people, I didn't want to broadcast it and make a big deal out of today because I know that everybody needed to go back to work today. But with that said, a realtor's mindset, I repeat to you guys this, I think all the time, especially if you are in the mastermind, you guys, we come into this industry with a very much an employee mindset, right? Which we gained from the minute we were born, because the minute that we're born, we're placed into preschool and then to school and then high school and then college. And throughout our entire lives, we are told that there's somebody teaching us, or somebody's ahead, above us. We are told you have to be there from this time to this time. We are told what our grades are going to be if we do the work, what our grades are going to be if we don't do the work. So they set us up with expectations of already a mindset of being an employee. If you are in elementary school, they start asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? No one says, I want to be an entrepreneur. No one says, I want to be a business owner. We all say we want to be a teacher, a doctor, an attorney. You know, we all want to be a police officer, a fireman, but we aren't told, hey, what about creating your own business? Or what about, you know, creating a service type of thing? We are told from when we are little, oh man, you don't want to innovate that. That takes a lot of money. That's too much work. What if you fail? You know, we are always told, oh man, you're going to rent that place to start an office. You know, what if you have to shut it down? We're told not to invest our entire lives. We are told not to think outside the box. We are told to not be innovative. We're told exactly what to do our entire lives. And then when we graduate college or our universities, what do? We go to a boss and we do the hours and we're told exactly how much we're going to make. And sometimes there's a bonus, but most of the time our expectations are to live within what our salary is, right? And then you guys got your real estate license because you don't want a boss and you don't want to deal with the hours and you don't want to sit in an office and you don't want to be told what to do or when to do it. And you then get your real estate license and you're like, okay, and now what do I do? And who's going to tell me what to do? And how do I do the things that people are supposed to tell me what to do? And you guys don't realize that everything that you did to get your license was to not have someone tell you to do. And it crosses with the habits that we've created our entire lives, right? All of our habits are you wake up, you go to work, you do this, you go home, you work out. So it crosses with the train of thought of getting the real estate license. We have habits of an employee instead of an employer. So with that said, a realtor's mindset, my dog is going crazy. This is why no one should work from home, because I now have the dog crying, the bird screaming, the kids in their room. This is awful. So our entire lives, we're told to do something, and then we grow up, we want to be adults, and our brain and our heart is telling us that we are meant for so much more. And we value ourselves to be and to do so much more, but we don't know where to begin because our habits are out of whack. So when we think about a realtor's mindset, I want you guys to start thinking not as an employee, but as an employer, as a business owner. What is it that your business needs in order for you guys to grow? What hours are needed in order for your business to grow? From, you know, what does your business entail? Does it entail a cell phone? Are you on your phone from this time to this time? Are you checking your emails? Does it entail a CRM? And start following that. So one of the best exercises that I have seen that have worked when I tell agents to start getting into a productive mindset of growth within their business is to go ahead and write down on a piece of paper for the next 2 weeks. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Sorry about that. All right. So for the next 2 weeks, what I want you guys to do is to, in a piece of paper, empty piece of paper, I want you guys to literally write down every single action that you guys are doing. So I want you to pretty much do 6 a.m., wake up. If it's not 6 a.m., obviously don't write 6 a.m., but if you're waking up at 11, at 12, wherever time it is that you're waking up, I want you to write 6 a.m., wake up. 6:05, brush my teeth, use the bathroom, social media. Every time you grab your phone and go on social media, I want you to write it down. Every time you go on your phone and check your emails, I want you to write it down. Every time you call a friend, I want you to write it down. Literally every single action, I want you to go ahead and write everything down.
For 2 weeks.
Okay? Huh?
For 2 weeks, Andreina.
For 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay? This is why I want you guys to do this. Every time you guys have an action that is not productive,
Mhm.
I want you to realize it and highlight it. And I want you guys to start adding up all the hours that are non-productive hours. What do I mean by productive and non-productive? Brushing your teeth is productive, okay? That's part of hygiene. So part of an employer's mindset, right? Or part of the business owner you guys wanted to do. I want you guys to have time for family. I want you guys to have time for healthy actions for yourself. I want you to have time for friends. And obviously I do want you to have time for your business, right? But if you guys are seeing on your list, on the highlighted parts, hey, you know what? I spent 3 hours on social media, and those 3 hours that you're spending on social media are not producing time on social media, then we need to start scratching those items out of your list and only end up with the items that are producing. I'm not telling you should not be on social media checking out what your friends and family are doing, but that should be certain amount of time and outside of kind of what you want to create to be your work schedule. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So obviously, brushing your teeth is a productive activity. Going to the gym, if you go to the gym, is a productive activity. That's part of like your health and, you know, your stress relief. Doing dinner with family and friends, that's a productive activity that keeps your emotions in check, right? So you have to tap into all of your emotional, your physical, and your mental needs. But if you find yourself that you are, you know, cleaning your house at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, instead of time blocking and doing your prospecting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then we either have to switch your time frames around, right? Now we got to look and say, all right, so I need to time block. Instead of doing this at 2 in the afternoon, I should be doing this at this time. You know, start switching your times around. Make sure that the activities that you're doing throughout the day, during the times that you should be working, you're actually working. And the times that you should be seeing your family, you should be seeing your family. What do I mean by that? There is I forgot his name, but I went to a conference a few years ago. And the guy said, you know, I found myself working all the time. I became a workaholic because I didn't know when the next paycheck was going to be. So everything that I was doing was kind of just to attempt to produce, that I let go of my family. So I did a deal with my wife, and I'm only going to do, you know, I'm going to do date night every Friday. I'm going to do family, you know, Sundays, and I'm going to make sure that I'm not working during those times so that I can fully focus and spend time with my family. That is beautiful, right? But if on Friday dinner, he's sitting in the dinner with his phone in his hands and he's answering emails and he's texting back and forth, he's not spending time with his family, right?
Right.
So part of that entrepreneurship mindset is knowing when to block, when to time manage, and when to know when you're supposed to doing what. Less chaos is part of the habits that we've created from very, very little. Meaning, since again, we go back to when you were in school, you're told you have to be here this time, you have to do this, these are your grades. If you grab those habits that you learned your whole life and you transfer them over to now as an entrepreneur, and you start sitting down and say, from this time to this time, I'm going to do this. From this time to this time, I'm going to do this. And you block out the time and you make sure that your distractions are not a part of your, you know, to-dos. You're going to create very producing entrepreneurship habits instead of employee habits, because you're going to, you know, you're going to keep yourself in check in order to be able to make this business run for you. I feel that as realtors, you guys know exactly what you guys are supposed to be doing, but your habits are the ones that are keeping you away from doing it, right? If we're sitting in our desk and we're like, oh man, I have so much to do. Man, I haven't turned on KV Core today, but KV Core, oh man, it's so much work. It's this, it's that. And then you start thinking, oh, you know what? This desk is a mess. Let me pick up my mess. And you don't do KV Core. Now you're picking up your mess. Oh man, the phone rang. Let me have the conversation with this person. And you don't do KV Core. And oh, it's lunchtime. And you look up for every excuse to not do the things that you're doing without holding yourself accountable. You're never going to do them. There's always going to be something else that you guys can do or that you should be doing. But the key to anything in life is one, consistency, and the habits that you're putting in there. Does this make sense?
And that happened to me.
It happens to all of us, you know, especially for some reason, especially in this industry, you guys are realtors, right? But even though it's sales, we don't have a product to sell. So now we're marketers, and now we're marketing ourselves all the time. So now we grab social media and we're marketing ourselves, but we forget that even though we're on social media, we should also be, you know, following up and making phone calls and letting people know. And we know what we have to do, but we stop doing it because we need that immediate gratification that we were learned. If you're here from this time to this time, you're going to get an A, or you're going to get X amount of money. Okay. And now you're here like, well, I've been in real estate for 5 years and I haven't gotten the money that I was supposed to be getting because you haven't worked it for 5 years. Does that make sense?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Maisa, what are your habits looking like?
Do you know me that I am, like you say, I am trying to do this and I focus in others and other things. But for example, I try to post in I try to post in Craigslist with KV Core at least twice on the week. And I follow up my clients, but I know that I need to do more follow up.
All right, so you want to know, start looking for tools that instead of saying, oh, I want to post on Craigslist twice a week. Okay. So instead of saying, I'm going to do it twice a week, I want you to say, all right, so my agenda on Mondays and Tuesdays, say Craigslist, so that I know that when I sit down in front of my computer on Mondays and Tuesdays, I need to post on Craigslist. Then on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I need to grab KV Core and do mass mail outs. So I want you to create a schedule in your agendas that makes sense based on the plan and the goals that you have. Because if you guys have showings and you guys are writing contracts and you guys are speaking to people on a very regular basis, right? Mm-hmm. You guys are gonna be like, oh man, I forgot to post in Craigslist today. I'll do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes and you're running around. Well, I already did it once this week. You know, I forgot to do it today. Let me go ahead and do it next week. And we keep pushing the things that we know we're supposed to be doing that, but we're not doing. So, you know, if you work with a written agenda, use it. I work very well with an agenda. You know, I have stickers, I have colors, I write things down. I have a day view, you know, and I write down when my appointments are, and I'm scratching them out and I'm highlighting and I'm keeping on track of myself, right? And I don't have the same schedule you guys have.
Right.
I still have the employee habits, right? So when it comes to you guys, I want you guys to grab the employee habits that you guys know, use an agenda, whether it's a digital or physical, and write down, highlight, from this time to this time, I'm going to do KV Core. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to do Craigslist. From this time to this time, and then put it on automatic, right? Whatever you can do on automatic, do it once a month. For example, through KV Core, you guys can do mass emails. If you guys know exactly when the holidays are, create your flyers and your mass emails. January 1st, create all the ones that are holidays for the entire year, because you know exactly when those days are going to be. You can schedule it with the date to go out, the time that you want them to go out at. And then from there, once a month, you can sit and see, all right, whose birthday is today? Or do that also in January. Whose birthday is throughout the year? Set up your happy birthday campaigns. You know, and then from there, you do your market reports once a month, but everything else is scheduled. So when you sit in KV Core to do your mass emails, it's ready. All you gotta do is just schedule it out and it will send all on its own. The same way works for social media. There's tools that you can use kind of like Planoly to schedule out your entire month of social media posts and stories. You know, that same way, I want you guys to have everything like on autopilot. You wake up, you use the bathroom, you brush your teeth, you take a shower, wherever, you know, whatever order that may be, go downstairs. All right, so now I have KV Core. Now I have to do this. At this time, I'm going to set up my showings. You guys know more or less when your showings are. Does that mean that when a client calls you and says, you know what, I cannot do showings at from 3 to 5 today, which is the time you had set up for showings. I can only do it at 11 in the morning. That's okay. Switch it for this client. But when you're done doing that showing, come back and do all the things that you didn't do in that time block of that morning that you missed. As human beings, we're reactive, right? If somebody throws you a ball, the first thing you do is you're going to catch it. We're very reactive, meaning if you get that first phone call of the day that takes you out of your house, you're out of the house and you guys are on the go. And then you guys are like, oh, but I forgot to post in Craigslist today. I'll do it tomorrow, right? Set up a system that works for you guys so that your mindset is always in entrepreneurship mode with habits that you've carried on since you were little that work for the realtor habits you're supposed to be creating now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Pilar, what are you smiling? What are you working on? What is it that, what are you seeing? What are you doing? How can I help you?
Well, I've got from the international leads, I've been given US leads, and I have 2 people that actually picked up the phone. Nice. And I'm working with. I've actually, one of them told me to friend him on Facebook, and I did. And then the other one sometimes picks up and sometimes doesn't. So I'm working with that. Let
me ask you with those leads. I know that you mentioned the US leads and instead of international. However, were you there for that training that Claudia did on to do the presentations for them?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and reach out to Nicole, so and let her know to connect you with that presentation. So Claudia did.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I was the one that it's a presentation that you sent to them about opening up a company and all of that stuff. Okay, yes, I was there.
So yes. The conversations that you can have now following up with these clients, instead of saying like, hey, are you really interested in this one project that you asked for? You can turn that conversation in, hey, before I show you and send you information about this project, do you know how to invest in the US? Even if they're in the US, do you want to learn how to, invest your money in real estate? You know what I mean? And this is how it's done. So create the conversation instead of being in sales and being salesy into, let me show you how. Let me guide you. Whether you use me or not, I want to give you the knowledge of how to. And the retention will be a lot better than if you start just attacking them with the project. That's on one. So
that's a really good idea. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now you did you have 2 people that you're kind of working with.
Actually 3. I have a friend of mine connected me with somebody that actually lives in Chile, and she's gonna be here at the end of September, and she's looking to invest, and I've been in contact with her back and forth. So that is a very good possibility.
Good. Now, even with that person from Chile,
I did send her that that presentation from.
Don't send it to them. Don't send it to them. No, that's for you. I want you to say, hi, let's have a meeting about how you can invest in the US, right? Don't send them that information. That presentation is for you to show them, but not for them to receive. And then I want you to say, let's go on Zoom. I'm going to show you all the steps on how to invest. And then you show them the presentation, but without reading it, kind of like just telling them the steps so that they can see it, you know, the wording that's there, and explain to them everything that the presentation says. That's how you hook them, because it's not like, okay, I'm going to send you the presentation and that's it. No, let me show you, hear my voice. This way they get to know you, your energy, they'll start liking you, they start trusting you, because you're the only one giving them this background info, so that now they will do business with you. But if you just say, oh, you know, I'm going to send you this presentation, I'm going to email it to you, they're not going to grasp the full concept of it. They're not hearing you. They're not feeling that you want to help them, or they're not seeing your guidance. They're just like, oh, okay, I got another email from another realtor. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So don't send it to them. That should be your meeting through Zoom. That presentation is your meeting through Zoom. Then everything else that you do from there will be follow up. After that initial meeting, right? It should all be follow up about, all right, so are you ready to invest? Do you want to go ahead and sit down with the person that creates the LLC? Do you know, like, guide them through the steps that you showed them? Okay. Now, with everybody else that's not picking up the phone, grab them and start putting them in email campaigns. And that email campaign can also be, want to have a meeting with me to learn on how to invest your money in the US through real estate, you know, little things like that. Change the wording around instead of just selling them the project, because it doesn't matter if they end up buying that project or a different one. The whole purpose of it is, you know, to end up with that commission at the end.
Okay.
Mabeli, are you working on anything currently?
Yeah, right now I'm working because my daughter, they back to school last week. The director for the school, she's my friend.
Okay.
I spoke with her because I say on February I left my work because I was working 18 years in a mortgage company, but nothing related, you know, with real estate. I was administrative assistant in the company. So I explained to her that I'm working by myself and that I'm a realtor. If they have any possibility that I can put a banner in the school. She told me that is allowed, but she has to speak with because my daughter, she's in the share in the MFC, you know, the school is for the share. They need to speak with the con el padre, because you know probably if I put it, I have to give you some % for the share.
Right. So now I'm gonna ask you, after you put that banner, what are you gonna do?
I'm planning, if I put the banner, I know that there's a lot of like possibility. The parents, you know, like give you a business card. The banner is going to be in the school, and also
here's I want you guys to think about when you guys are doing farming, right? If you guys send out a postcard somewhere, you guys are door knocking, whatever it is that you guys do, even if you put on a banner. After you put on the banner, what happens from there, right? If you want a community to get to know you, and in this case, the community is the school, you need to have a plan B. So, okay, so after the banner is up, I'm gonna do a community event. Maybe I will sponsor a pizza day for the PTA, or at the next PTA meeting, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna join the PTA. Because if you want a community to call you and get to know you and see you as the specialist realtor for that area, for that school area, then you can't just put a banner and wait for people to call. You're going to starve. You know, what if people don't call you for the next 5 months?
That's true.
Or for the next year? Works, you know, and you're going to be very, you're going to lose hope. Because you're going to say, man, I put on the banner. There's so much potential. There's so many parents here. Everybody drives through the street. But what if nobody calls you? And chances are that if they don't call you is because they don't know you yet enough to say, man, this is the realtor for this area who knows the market, who everybody's using in order for me to call her. Remember, you guys are not selling pencils. You guys are not
Right.
selling coffee. You guys are selling one of the biggest purchases for most people, right? Even their first time home owner buyers, this is the first time that they buy something at a major money amount. It's their biggest investment in their house. And sometimes they only buy once. So by putting up a banner, what is your banner going to say to these people in order to trust you well enough to be like, that's the agent I should be using, instead of my cousin who got her license yesterday?
That's true.
And part of that is the same thing as farming. What I mean by the part of farming is you have to create community events. You have to make sure that the community gets to know you. You have to create a buzz around town that you are the realtor that all these parents in the school use. Join the PTA now that your daughter's in there. Make sure that the teacher knows that you're in real estate. You know, get to know them so that if somebody says, oh man, I'm looking for a house to move within this area around the school, somebody says, oh man, Mabeli is a realtor that we all use. But you have to create that buzz. So it's like the banner is kind of like maybe you're dipping your feet in, but then have your plan B, your plan C, your plan D of what comes after that banner. It's like Maisa and Haleen that they're doing door knocking. I say, you know, just because you knock on their door once does not mean that they're gonna tell you, oh yeah, oh my God, thank God you knocked on my door today. I want to buy a house. Let's please sign this paper for me. I needed a realtor today.
Right.
It doesn't exist.
No.
It doesn't. Nobody's waiting for you. Nobody's
Right.
out there driving, looking for a banner to be like, oh my God, I needed a realtor. There's no realtors in Miami. I thank you, Jesus. You showed up on my doorstep. I've been praying for you. Nobody's going to receive you this way, right? So
Right.
even if you knock on their door once, right? Now it's, okay, so how often are you going to knock on this same door? And after you knock on their door X amount of times, what are you going to do so that the person who lives in the house gets to know you again and sees your face again and remembers that you're the realtor again and knows that you're the realtor again? So it's community events, putting things together, knock on the door. You're going to knock it around Halloween time. Give them that 25 little cent pumpkin, the quarter pumpkin that's real with your little name attached and your business card. You know, leave them things to remember you by, because I promise you, there's like 110,000 realtors between Miami-Dade and Broward.
That's true.
Right? If they go next door, knock on their neighbor's door, there's a realtor in there, right? She might be a teacher, or she might be a whatever, but she has her real estate license. So they're not eagerly sitting at home like, oh man, I wonder when that realtor is going to knock on my door. I really need to sell my house. No, they know more than we do. Okay. They are on Zillow, they're on Trulia, they're on realtor.com. Like they know exactly what to do. They're very informed. So I love your banner idea. I don't want to discourage you by saying, but I need you to have, okay, so I'm going to put the banner on there. Next, I'm going to send postcards on everybody who lives in that area that goes to the school. From there, I'm going to pick a neighborhood. I'm going to knock on their door so that every time they see my face, they're like, oh man, she's a mom at the school who sells the houses. She's a specialist here. Boom, I need a realtor. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like make a plan that goes with that banner.
Okie dokie. Thank you.
You're welcome. Maisa's not paying attention to us, you see? She's not working this week. I don't know what's going on.
No, estoy aquí.
¿Cuántas veces, every time you've knocked on the door, how many times have they opened and like say they pray for you?
No one. we knock 40 doors.
You see? But how often are you knocking on doors?
Well, I know that we have to do more, but I just did one time.
Okay, because you guys just began, no?
We are planning every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
And also we are planning doing mailship, sending flyers to them.
Again, guys, it's consistency, right? It's consistency. Whatever you do today, you might not see for next 3 months. But whatever you do today has to have that realtor mindset of, I need to remind and let at least 8 to 12 people know that I'm a realtor in order for in the next 3 months for me to be able to see the fruit of this. But plan your seeds, change your habits, write down everything you're doing for the next 2 weeks, start scratching off your non-producing activities, and do it again. If you feel like, okay, so I've taken out my non-producing activities, now I need to tweak a few things, write it down again until you get into the habit. And I want to continue to instill that word habit in you guys. You guys already have the habits from when you were growing up. You guys already know what you should be doing, but you're not doing it. So now create the habits that take you to that closing table over and over again. It's a consistent wheel. Okay.
Right. Another question, Andreina. I would like to get Kiwi Core. I need to speak with
Julieta.
Julieta. Okay.
Yes.
Because with Kiwi Core, I can do marketing, right?
Yes.
A little bit
KV
marketing.
Core is a huge tool. It's a huge tool. It's a system that has a lot of things in it. Consistency on KV Core is key.
I want to say something about KV Core.
Yes.
For example, I changed for Broward, and I don't know why my emails go directly to the spam. Okay,
That's normal.
I pay for Realtor.com and I merge Realtor.com with KV Core.
Okay.
I have a client that I am working with her, and she starts sending the houses, and I was like, I didn't send this house. It was from KV Core. KV Core did my job.
Yeah, because as soon as they go into an active campaign.
Yes.
All right, so here's the thing about KV Core and things going into spam. It's not KV Core, it's your email address. More than a few people have clicked and said to their email that you are spam.
No, it's not from KV Core, it's from the MLS.
You're confusing me now.
No, the MLS email, they go directly to a spam.
Yes,
but KV Core, no.
Because way too many people wrote that those emails coming from the board were spam. That's our industry. That is our industry. I don't know if you remember when you guys first joined the company and we're sitting in an orientation with me. And one of the first things I tell you is, hi, Julieta sent you your access to Dotloop. If you don't see it in your inbox, it's probably in your spam.
Right.
And then I say to you guys, KV Core, we've registered you in KV Core. And if it's not in your inbox, it's most likely in your spam. And you guys are realtors who have no idea about this industry sometimes when you guys get to me. And since the very, very first day I meet you, I am literally letting you know all of our things go into spam. And it's not Brokers LLC, and it's not just the board, and it's not KV Core. It's a industry problem because we are, it's kind of like telemarketers. You know how you have the scam lately or whatever they're called, and we send them all to spam? It's the same thing through our emails. You know, emails go out, people mark them as spam because they don't want to receive them again, and then everybody's emails get kind of shut down.
Okay,
I'm gonna call Julieta today. It's like $60, right, a month?
It's $50 a month.
Okay.
The setup fee is $79. We used to, I'm gonna say this to you. And you know, I don't know if Pilar has KV Core. I know Maisa has KV Core, but
I have KV Core.
Beautiful. KV Core does not work if you don't work it. Okay. I want you to completely block out at least an hour every single day and dedicate it to the setup of KV Core for the next 2 to 3 weeks, because that's how long it takes for you to get to know the program.
Okay. Like 2 to 3 weeks.
At least an hour every day, because not only do you have to set up your profile, make sure it's attached to your website that we're going to provide for you. Then from there, I want you to get to know all the active campaigns that it has. Upload your database using hashtags, catalog everybody. See who in your database should be receiving an active campaign. set up seller's campaign. If you know somebody has a house, it takes a while to kind of like set everything up and set up a flow. And then from there, I want you to start advertising the listings of the company so you guys can start generating the leads. And it's a whole process, but you have to set it up right. If not, you've wasted your money. It's like prospecting. If you are prospecting and you're not following up, you're wasting your time. If you pay for KV Core and you're not setting it up and working it every day, you've wasted your money. Okay. Now, mass emails are great on it. You're going to save a lot of money if you were used to using MailChimp before. But again, you have to get to know the system. You have to set it up correctly, and you have to dedicate time to it. Look at what Maisa said. I connected my realtor.com and they started getting properties, and I had no idea that KV4 was doing my job. Well, have you read all the active campaigns it has? Do you know what it is that your clients are receiving? Have you set one up for yourself so that you know what your clients are seeing? Make sure that you're reading the tasks. Make sure that you call the clients when the system tells you to call. It's a whole system. So just get to know it very well and dedicate your time to it, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty, guys. Anything else?
Another question, because I started doing exercise by myself, to lose weight because I'm a little bit gordita. Y empecé ayer, I went to the park y dije, let me go with my car. Y yo no tengo pena, thanks God, no me da pena hablar. Entonces estoy caminando, I was walking in the park y vi 3 people with the stroller y le di las tarjetas. Y me dijo una, oh my God, I was looking like probably to get qualification to buy a house because estoy cansada de rentar. Y cogí, regué 5 tarjetitas y cogí una. And I'm planning to go every day, 6 to 7, 1 hour.
You have to. Consistency is key. You have to. It's the only way.
Yo dije, oh my God, because eso lo hice como cuando tú sales así y dije, let me go with my car because you never know. Y me fui al parque como 2 blocks from my house by myself. Y dijo, vine para acá, la llamé y me dijo, sí, mándame información para cualificarme, pero I'm not working. My husband me dio toda la explicación y I'm planning to do eso, como voy a hacer un hábito, to do it every single day.
Yeah. And now remember, once they meet you, you need to have a good lender that you're working with so that lender can qualify them well, give them a pre-approval so you can begin working with them.
Okay, eso es lo que te iba a preguntar, porque I was working with another lender from my old company y hay dos deals que se me han caído, and I don't know why. I don't know if because I'm not working in the company anymore, I don't know. Entonces quería saber si ustedes, you have lenders, si me pueden mandar información.
We are actually looking into creating an in-house mortgage division department within brokers. I can refer you to a few people that I know work well. Paul did the DU class. I really like the way he works. He has handled Lina's files for a little while. Lina Rivera and Guillermo Viola's files, and he works very well. I can give you several people's numbers, but we don't have anybody that's in-house preferred by us, okay?
Okay.
For now.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty, guys, with that said, change your habits, take away your non-productive items, and we shall do this again soon.
No,
Mastermind on Fridays.
Now I'm gonna do everything for 2 weeks from now.
Yes,
where everything good and bad.
Beautiful. All right. I wish you guys an amazing Wednesday.
Thank
you very much.
I hope to be back in the office like tomorrow. I'm going crazy.
Okay.
Alrighty, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.